All right. So we are live, Jim. No intro today. Uh, I I'm actually going to make one that's not the default, so that when we do this in the future, I can go ahead and throw it up, and it'll be one that's a little more exciting than just that stock one.
Yeah.
But as eyeballs come in, if any eyeballs come in at all, I'll just go ahead and let you know that while I can't find any footage of Stuttering John um, from the last couple of days, I guess I will go ahead and give you a brief rundown of what's been going on with John. So actually, I might be able to pull up the last political show that John does because see, this is his move. He does a political show, I believe, on Saturdays, and then throughout the week he does his regular show. Well, he immediately takes the live streams down of his solo show because people clip it and bust his balls, and he can't handle it, so he deletes it. But the political shows usually go unscathed, so John keeps those up. But something happened this week that is so egregious that I'm going to see if he actually still has it or not. Because he's talking to Richard Ojeda and to Brian Karam about the upcoming hurricane. He's telling them that he doesn't want to leave LA. I mean, sorry, that he doesn't want to leave.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. My bad.
Yeah.
And is it here? I think he's. Oh, I think he took it down. What a little bitch. Yeah, he took it down. But anyway, so what happened was, to give you a brief summary, John did not want to leave his Florida home. He was convinced that because his home was brand new, that because it was up to code, that he would be fine through the hurricane. And Brian Karam told him to leave. President Biden called the storm like the storm of the century, or what have you. You need to get out of Florida. Well, he didn't leave. He lost his power. No flooding, no damage to his house at all. But then, because he was still out of power, he takes his laptop and drives to the McDonald's.
Oh
But
Christ.
in, and he does his show. He has the laptop up on the dash, and he is filming his show out of his car, and the McDonald's sign is in the backdrop, like through the like through the back window of the show,
Yeah.
of the car.
Yeah.
And that's how he does his show. And he's loitering. And a couple of times, McDonald's employees have bags walking up to him because the asshole is in the pickup spot. He parked where you pick up your food
Oh, what a fucking
like
idiot.
an asshole. And he goes, I didn't order nothing. I didn't order nothing. Go away. Just being an asshole.
Uh.
And then at one point, my bad. And then at one point, the real the funny part of it all, he's clearly like he needs to move because he's there for hours on end, and customers are coming in and out. So John's idling, his headlights are on, his shit's on because his air condition is blowing, and right on him, by the way, which you can hear the entire time. You can hear the car AC underneath him
Yeah.
yelling about the shitware and Lady K and everybody else. The most repetitive, ineffective crap is on that show every single day. But the only reason why I bring this up is because I feel like something really needs to be said about John. Because as this comes to an end, and I really do believe that uh, the Dabbleverse will not end, but I don't know how long John has on this planet. and that's not saying anything nefarious. That's not
No, it's
talking
just
out of school.
he looks like he's in poor health, and it's going to catch up with him sooner or later. I mean, yeah, just for the sake of YouTube and Facebook's like TOS and all that, we're not wishing death on him. We're just saying that for a man that does a lot of like drinking and all this other stuff, I mean, he could fall to a variety of ailments. It's just not, it doesn't look good.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Just look at him. This was from September 9th, okay? So I will show you an episode from September 9th, and then I will show you what he looks like just like a few weeks later, okay?
Okay.
Look at John. Ready for this intro? Let's listen to this intro. Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Holy crap.
The green screen's not ready.
A little better. I get a bigger green screen. Well, how are you?
Wow.
35 seconds into the podcast.
God.
35 seconds in. It's already open. The beer is already been unclanked by the time, like before he finishes his first sentence. And he's got his Harris Wall shirt on.
Of course he does.
Didn't do a show on Saturday. I went with the girl that I'm dating to see the movie Reagan.
Okay. Have you ever seen someone have a webbed hand the way that John does?
No, I have not.
Now,
It
other shows have heavily chronicled just how crooked this finger is. That's his finger at its natural stance.
Yep.
The bone has become so ajar, and the muscle has become so atrophied that this is what his fingers now look like. Just these slanted, awful things.
Well, thank goodness they're only designed for drinking.
Great performance by Dennis.
Right? Yeah. You know what it is? They're just claspable now.
Yeah, he's
They're just
becoming a
it just got
crab.
grips on the ends of them.
Yeah, he's becoming a crab.
That's Quaid, but it's funny. All the actors were all right wingers, and who better to talk about the movie Reagan than the man who interviewed him, Brian Caron. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing?
Okay, so I know, Jim, I know you don't really know who Brian Caron is. You probably don't see a lot of John's political show. But I want to ask you something.
I know a little bit about him, not too much.
So I want to ask you something. Who do you think is older, John or Brian?
I'm going to say Brian, but I wouldn't put it past someone to say John looked older.
Brian is 65. John is 59.
Yeah, that's why I know how this game works. The guy who looks older looks younger because he actually takes care of himself. And you got fucking
He
John,
doesn't shower in Coors.
It's like I swear, if they ever made the live action version of Futurama, they could cast him as Zoidberg because he's about there.
Oh, I know. Yes, he is. Holy shit. You know what I think about? Like in Futurama, how all the presidents live in those jars in the afterlife. I just imagine John living in like the most grotesque tube because the liquid that his head survives in is all tainted and yellow and awful.
Knowing him, he would put on his plaque, funniest guy ever.
Yeah, it was just some bullshit. Yeah, it was
So I went to see the movie Reagan, Brian.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Brian doesn't know what the fuck to do with John anymore. He really
Brian's
doesn't.
just like,
Dude.
you're a little too enthusiastic for this.
Dude, Brian is on this show every week. Brian, so in case if you don't know who Brian Karam is, for those that see this and know who Brian Karam is, he's a White House reporter. He is a legitimate journalist. He's very busy. Um, he has adult kids. He talks about his grandkids, etc. He takes a lot of time and patience and energy that he could be using for other things, and he gives it to John, and he tries to help him put together a halfway decent show. And it's almost like he's explaining the world of politics and just the reality that everyone else lives in to John, because John understands nothing. And what you're about to hear in this conversation, Jim, is a clear indication of that.
What have you heard about it?
Well, I've seen selected cuts from it, but I haven't seen the movie itself. So I couldn't tell you for sure.
And what are the reviews saying?
The reviews are, let's see, some of them are kind.
So this fucking guy, he just jumps onto a show. He doesn't have anything ready to talk about. He doesn't know where the conversation's going. He's just expecting Brian to Google everything and prep his show for him in real time.
You would think that John, for as lazy as he fucking is, would have, you know how Joe has like Jimi on the show that just pulls up.
Right.
You would think that with how lazy this fucking guy is, he would have someone on the fly who could just.
Well, the problem is, Jimmy, you also don't know John has had moderators and he has doxed and bullied all of them.
I've heard the stories. That would be another piece of advice. I understand you don't want to get close to your moderators. It's probably not a good idea to dox them. Like, when I heard, when I first heard that this man doxed his moderators, I'm like, of all fucking people, maybe they found out about the super secret, famous Bumble profile, but. I understand sometimes when you run a show like this, sometimes you're going to have your guests. I don't want to say do the work, but if the show is about them, the guests that you bring on, you're going to let them take the lead. But if I were to do something like this, I would make sure that I have things on hand ready to go if I don't have a person there to do it. Like, that just seems like the bare minimum you can do. But I suppose Dr. Zoidberg here is more convinced on getting his 35-second beer in rather than making sure all the prep work is done.
Oh no, 1000%. John will make sure that he has beers, he has edibles, he has all of this stuff that's going to make his brain into a big bowl of chili right before his podcast, rather than look, what else does he do? He's unemployed. I mean, John may have a job now. There's rumors that he's been working for Pepsi down in Florida.
I've heard.
Maybe he is. I don't know. But let's just say John doesn't have a job. Let's say he lives off his pensions and whatever else he's got going on. You would think then he would dedicate some time out of his day to put a show together, but he doesn't. So this continues on for a little bit, and it's just meaningless conversation. So I want to hop ahead a little while, and so John is, of course, the election is coming up, and they start discussing light politics, and most of it I could really care less about because John doesn't understand how anything works.
No, but that's what
And
makes
Brian,
it. But that's what makes it fun. I know someone like Brian has an understanding of politics. You have to, as a person who's a interviewer journalist in the White House. I just like seeing John's takes on politics because I know they're ridiculously fucking stupid, but
All right.
I'm so
Then we'll
hooked.
start right here.
Oh boy.
Maybe I should. It's just been
No, that's
I mean, maybe it's a
amazing.
life-
Oh yeah, so we know that John's been dyeing his hair, and so is Brian. So of course, the comments. The comments are just people that don't like John
Oh, of course.
at all.
It's
But just ignore that for a second.
The two-party consent state. Gino Bobina thinks like Brian dyes his hair too. Guys age gracefully like Trump.
age graceful like Trump.
I've never dyed my hair once in my life.
I know. I was going to ask
There's
you.
gray everywhere.
It's so
But
funny that you
thanks.
said
Where's
that.
that fake
Brian, I
laugh
was
about?
going to ask you the same thing. I'm saying, Brian, do you dye your hair?
Oh, you
Uh,
dyed your
Maybe I
hair.
should. It's just been
No, that's
maybe it's the
amazing.
lighting.
That's amazing. A man. A man.
And first off,
John
so
Ping Pong.
Brian is trying to say this is not a dye job. That's absolutely fucking dyed hair.
Of your age doesn't go gray. I mean, I'd be almost
Well, I
all
am gray. I maybe it's a light, but sometimes it shows that the gray shows up more than other times. But I appreciate whoever said it.
Ching
It's a
Chong.
compliment. I'm charmed.
Ching Chong Bing Bong. Thanks for $2. Brian's a legend because his forehead stores a dragon. I have no idea what that means.
I guess
And then-
maybe I have deep furrows. I don't know.
And then
So
Stephen
it says that you
Bravo.
got a big forehead.
Brian,
is
did you
what
learn
it
that?
was getting at.
I still can't believe that he read Ching Chong Bing Bong and didn't think
I
about the
can
move on
believe
to
it.
something else.
I can believe it.
He
He's-
just- he-
He doesn't.
Laugh from
I'll
Rob
say-
Saul. He doesn't even know who Rob Saul is. Brian. So
Wait, what?
it's
now?
amazing a man of your age. Ching Chong Bing Bong.
He just said he didn't know who Rob Saul was.
Oh Christ! he
Stephen
did
Bravo.
it.
Thanks to dogs. Brian, did you learn that laugh from Rob Saul? He doesn't even know who Rob Saul is.
Oh,
Brian.
okay.
Oh,
So-
you're saying Brian.
so the
I got my
Unamazing-
laugh from my grandmother, by the way, who was like, I loved her when I was appearing in, when we were kids and we would do summer stock theater or even in high school, and Grandma would show up, and man, I tell you what, she had the best laugh of anybody. I loved her laugh. It was just out there and loving it. And by the way, she was like one of the very first women to ever to speak before the U.S. Supreme Court, to present a case before the U.S. Supreme Court. So
Oh, wow.
one of my idols.
My grandmother came to this country from Puerto Rico and died a very wealthy woman. And she bought Philip Morris stock.
Oh Christ! Oh.
So he's trying to one up Brian's story.
Oh
Just
God!
fucking
He looked like he was gonna have a seizure trying to finish that sentence.
And as he's saying this, Brian looks like he wants to punch him in the face. Oh,
I
it's-
mean, looking at this
It was
frame
like
right
10
now, he's got
cents and bought a
the.
whole bunch of it. And but I'll tell you, Brian, the one thing my grandmother, ever since I was a little kid, like 5 years,
Are you gonna swallow that spit there, John? Good
Oh,
lord,
no.
that tongue's waggling all over the place.
He's gonna save it for later.
old, every single Sunday that we went to visit, she always told me, John, I don't think I'm going to make it till next Sunday. I think I'm going to be dead. And she said that for the next 30 fucking years.
Dude, I understand making a joke out of it and laughing at that, but it's just like, so I went to visit my grandmother every day for 30 years, and she kept on telling me, John, I'm gonna die of cancer.
You know what I think it was? I think she was like hoping that John would just assume she was dead and not come back.
Yeah. Oh, why? Why would you want to do that? He's such a charming individual. Have you seen that Bumble?
It's like, no,
profile?
John, I can't buy you lunch. I have no money anymore.
I can't buy you
That
lunch,
sounds
John.
like my
You ate all
grandmother
the
on my
lunch
mom's
that's
side.
all
She
you-
was very I'm never gonna.
By the way, this here is not a Coors. This is a Diet Pepsi. Have you ever seen anybody Watch this gulp. Have you ever seen anybody drink a Pepsi like this? Watch.
And she said that for the next 30 fucking years.
Yes, so funny, John.
That sounds like my grandmother on my mom's side. She was very. I'm never gonna make it, honey. I'm not gonna make it. She made it. It's a 90.
That was a thunderous gulp. If I've ever.
I also
seen
have to
one.
say this: we can't bash on him for drinking Diet Pepsi because, according to Boogie 2988, Diet Mountain Dew. So maybe Diet Pepsi's is approved too. Does it have carcinogens as well?
Do you know, dude? I would kill for that. That would be the greatest fucking show. Boogie and John on a stream together.
Oh fuck! Oh,
Would the show be called "Who's the Biggest Victim"?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and my grandmother made the 99.
Yeah.
At least that's what we, that's what we think. And my grandfather, he made it to 94.
And you were gonna make it to maybe May, possibly June.
hopefully January.
Is this a face of a fucking guy? Is this a face of a man who has longevity?
No, he's got gout pouring out of his fucking pores in his chin.
You know what's so crazy? Let's look at a picture of Stuttering John from let's say from like the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at a picture of him real quick and compare it to, you know what? Look, we'll be fair. We will take a picture of John from the mid 2000s. Okay, we'll take a picture of him from like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And just juxtapose it and see if hold on, where did I save it to? You know what? Hold on a minute. I have an idea. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, here. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just go like this. We will take because I'm trying to actually find like a decent one. Here we go. Okay. Fuck it. Right here. Boom. Okay. So, John, there is a picture of Stuttering John when he was working on Jay Leno. This may be 10 years ago. Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Shit.
look at so you take that John, okay, and compare it to that John.
Whew. Time has
Alcohol is not your friend, sir.
Yeah, time has not been so kind to
Well, you see, when every second of your life involves cracking open a Coors can or crushing the empty and opening up the next,
of course.
it's not going to be a good life for you.
He's basically doing drunk streams and he's treating it like he's a professional. But that's what all that is. He's just drunk streaming.
Well, he doesn't.
For all these
He
people-
doesn't drink on camera anymore. Whoa, he doesn't do that anymore. He's not allowed to do that anymore. That's why on camera now he drinks other fluids, but he's so dehydrated because he's such an alcoholic that he will drink like an entire 12-pack of Pepsi. He'll have a gallon jug of orange juice. I mean, just these abnormal amounts of really strange fluid. Do you know anybody that just casually drinks a gallon of orange juice?
I would do it back in high school, but I was playing soccer and shit like that, so I had a reason to grab for that. But nowadays, no, it's not common.
Not for a man who's 60 years old.
Yeah. For the 16-year-old, yeah. It's
are hoping that I have an early demise. Don't count on it.
Whoa. Let's back this up and look at
Whoa.
Brian's face, because Brian's about done with John. Listen to what John says after he just fucking engulfs this Pepsi.
We're gonna make it, honey. I'm not gonna make it. She made it to 90,
he
I
just-
think.
Yeah, and my grandmother made it to 99.
Yeah.
At least that's what we, that's what we think. And my grandfather, he made it to 94. So for all these people who are hoping that I have an early demise, don't count on it.
Me, on the other hand, my dad died at 55. My grandfather was my age when he died. By the way, he had gray hair, and and my brother died young. So we've been, James Carville and I bonded over that a few years ago about how, everybody, all the men in his family die young, but James is just too goddamn ornery to die. So maybe that'll keep me alive.
Pause that
Living
for a
well.
second.
I love
I
James.
guess
He's
that's
done this
okay.
show a couple of times. He actually made global.
James Carville because he's a funny man. He just talk like this all the time.
He
Okay.
actually.
I gotta turn those two broads off. I can't listen to them anymore.
All right,
But that's
let me
what
add.
John has been up to, and I want to show you what.
Him saying that my grandmother made it to 99 and my grandfather made it to 94, so people thinking I'm gonna have a early demise. Look at that. And it's just like, I bet you good money your grandparents weren't alcoholics and probably maintain a pretty fucking healthy lifestyle. That one of them nearly made it to 100 and the other one was in like almost to his mid 90s. Yeah, the reason why people are thinking you're gonna have an early demise is because you've drunk so much that you fucked your body up, and now you're chugging fucking diet Pepsis on stream back to back, and it's not a good look for you,
Well,
man. Like, that's why people are
No,
saying that.
and dude, now, okay, I wanted to prove to you. Remember, I said we're going to look at John from a week ago. We're not going to spend the whole show on this, but we took a little bit of time with that Brian Karen clip. This is John. Remember, that was September 23rd. This is John as of today.
uh,
The motherfucker, he aged like I think he ages several years in a week. Is this the face of a man who is going to live until he's 99?
no, I don't think so. That's crazy.
Listen to his voice. Holy shit. Listen to this voice.
Yeah.
Check. There we go. All righty. Man, I was tired this morning. I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, I bet.
Had
I
a wonderful
bet.
date last night. with
He had a
my
wonderful
beautiful Costa
date.
Rican.
Do you look what woman is he going on a date with?
No, let me ask you a better question. How much money did he pay that prostitute?
I thought you would cover the bill.
Listen. I the best I've got is some coupons for the Chili's down the road. Let's go, baby.
How about if I give you my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jersey? We had a great time, and I'm going to talk to the Army Major and Brian Karam about it. So apparently, though, then after politics, I'll come back and I'll tell you.
So you can tell here, by the way, John is severely hungover.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, John's going to get thirsty here in a little bit. So just
I
be
wonder-
ready.
He's gonna grab his
Thanks to
doctor
Rocco.
approved Diet Pepsi.
We now know, thanks to the tape, that it appears that Esau was the one who named not only the name of their show, but named the network.
Okay. So I really don't want to do John all night, but it just this
Okay.
motherfucker. So this is the other thing. John, because he has to flap his gums and he has to tell every single person, hey, you know who I am. I used to be Stuttering John on the Howard Stern show, the Jay Leno show, blah, 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 blah. So he decides to flap his gums all about himself to whoever that'll listen. And that's the kids that he was substituting for at school, his family members, his friends, his neighbors, the few people that actually decide to socialize with this fucking gargoyle. He tells them that he is, Stuttering John. Well, the first thing that comes up in the Google search is going to be the Uncle Rico show, who are these podcasts, etc. So because of that, he is dying on the hill that Eso Doe, and you know all about what happened with Eso Doe. We don't got to get into that here, especially not on Facebook.
Yeah.
But he's trying to say that because Eso Doe named the Uncle Rico show, that they should change the name of the Uncle Rico show.
Oh Christ.
And it's only because when you Google this sad sack of shit, the first thing that comes up is the Uncle Rico show.
Yeah.
The show busting his balls on a Spielberg level of production. If you haven't seen that show, it is my favorite show of all time.
That's great.
We have newly released tape, and I told you, I knew it. I knew there would be more. Because when there's smoke, there's fire. So they can keep doing a billion shows on the Duke as they be jelly. Apparently they had a thumbnail this time with a gun pointed in the Army Major's stomach. And I guess
Paused it.
you talk about it.
Paused it. This fucker. I did not pause the tape at all.
Yeah,
This
he
guy
was
just like got what he was saying mid sentence.
It's gone now. At least I couldn't find it. But what's with Phildo and the gun shit? We know it's him.
People were okay. So the thumb. You remember the thumbnail of John at Tiananmen Square, and he said, "Oh, what's a gun at my head?" and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Well, now people are photoshopping other variations of that with John's guests fucking with John, and he believes that it's an actual thumbnail.
Oh Christ.
Him doing it over at the Sandusky Network with this. He had a gun pointed to my head. Now he's got a gun pointed to the Army Major, a decorated war hero in the Army Major's stomach. And
Wait, let me go back for one thing.
I guess
Oh, for fuck's sake, John! I forgot you take so long to talk.
YouTube allowed it.
No, dude, that's the sign he's gonna
It's
make
gone
for
now.
99.
At least I couldn't find it.
Right?
But-
oh yeah, definitely.
What's with Phildo and the gun shit?
Watch
We
this.
know it's him doing it over at the Sandusky Network with this. He had a gun pointed to my head. Now he's
I was trying to.
got a gun point.
I was trying to pause it at the right time. Why does John gesture a gun like it's pepper spray? Do you notice that? He kind of just cocks that finger up in the air and says, "Oh, look,
Yeah.
it's a gun."
Well, usually when most people when they use a gun are able to do this, but since he's, used to doing that, it's just
right.
the
You know
only
what,
type-
Jimmy? I think you finally cracked the code. I think these fingers are so used to being around the neck of a bottle that they have now just kind of warped into this, circular formation here.
Well, it's muscle memory, and you keep of knowing him. He's probably done it for like fucking at least
It's all he does.
30 years. It's gonna contour to that. I mean, It's not like you just wake up one morning and you're like, "Oh shit, why are my fingers like this?" No, that's routine.
Look, if you woke up one morning and said, "Oh shit, I'm in Stuttering John's body," that would be a travesty.
No, I'm gonna ensure that we have our early demise. I'm not waiting.
I bet
I'm
you
not
would.
waiting till 99. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Pointed to the Army Major, a decorated war hero. Now, that's who they're fucking with. Meanwhile, look at them. We'll talk all about it, because trust me, I got the anger. Because this is
Anger.
getting fucking... They're way
Anger in
personal.
the
Remember, it was
engine.
nothing personal, always funny? No. It's always personal. It's never funny.
See, this is the problem with John. He fancies himself a comedian. He's never been a comedian. And when he was trying to be funny, he was irreverent, he was inappropriate, he was filthy, and he was still never funny. And now he's this bleeding heart liberal pain in the ass, and he's even less funnier than he's ever been.
I'm also gonna point this out. Him saying that it's personal because you make everything personal. That's why people keep fucking with you. I can't imagine if I had legitimate criticism for your show, you would just say that I'm just I'm a detractor, dipshit, fucking troll, just levying a personal attack against you. It's just
Hey,
insane.
John, if you see this video and you want to contact Jimmy's mother, I guess just tell her, send her his best regards, because you'll fucking contact her before he will. So have fun with that, John.
Dude,
Have fun.
the thing is, I don't know who would be drunker, him or my mother.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. The hurricane hit Port Charlotte pretty hard.
Yeah, from what I heard, though, it didn't touch Northport.
Can you believe this fucking guy, though, contacting people's mothers?
Yeah, that's what when I am a badass fucking podcast show guy and people are trolling me, you know what I do? I go and tell their mother because I stand on principle.
Boogie doesn't even call people's moms.
No, he just runs a crypto scam and fucking fakes cancer. But
But John's not smart enough for that.
well, thank God he's not smart enough for that. Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
I'm gonna buy some coin.
The drinking did something good. It fucking killed enough brain cells where he didn't get the idea to do a crypto.
There's nothing funny about it. Having a thumbnail of a guy with a gun pointed to someone's head. That's not funny. That's violence. That is promoting
Shut the
violence.
Fuck up.
It's not paused.
This is awesome. Say something, you stupid fuck.
He's just typing.
Oh my
He's
God. It's dead air.
for sure.
Dead air.
He's on Reddit. He's just on Reddit.
Oh Christ. Of course he's on Reddit.
Oh, God.
But they keep on going with this harassment, cyberbullying. They just keep going. They can't seem to stop it. They're obsessed with me.
Giving them a reaction. Why would they
What
stop?
little pennies they're making. Now,
Again, people say this about John all the time. This is his opportunity to be funny. This is his opportunity to show, how witty he is and how talented he is, and just to show his ability to be able to get a conversation going and sort of get an ebb and flow to his solo shows. And he can't do that. Because if he were actually to sit down and try to craft a joke, he's not funny and he can't. But if he also were to just want to sit in front of his laptop and just begin typing out some notes and kind of coming up with a monologue for himself, finding some way to really hook in some listeners and gain some sympathy and get some laughs, perhaps, then he would have a show. but what he does is not a show. He gets on stream, he yells, he threatens, he harasses, and he repeats.
He's a crybaby. That's what he is, though. He's a crybaby, and that's it. Like
Oh
he's a
yeah.
crybaby. He's like that's like if I went up to you and I started punching you in the stomach, and then you hit me, and I'm like, I don't know why this guy hit me. All I did was just punch him in the stomach 5 times. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And the other thing is, and I'm only going to say this as someone who's I'll say comedian in the most basic sense. There's a difference between this is a joke. I might not find it funny, but I won't begrudge others who do. It's the case of it's not for me. Then you have the stuttering John angle to where he thinks he's the arbiter of comedy. So if he deems something unfunny in his fevered fucking mind, he'll just be like, "Oh, that was a personal attack." And it's just like,
And we've all heard his humor. We've all heard how obscene he is. But we're going to move on here from Johnny Boy. And I have a robust list. As a matter of fact, we have over 100 names, about 120 names. And we're not going to go through all of them, but I do want to talk about some of them. The Diddy guest party list.
yes.
Now, what I want to say before we get into this, clearly, I don't believe that every single person on this list, every single person who has ever attended a party, is in any way immediately connected to the other crimes that Diddy has became known to be responsible for.
It's possible that there are people on that list who didn't know what was going on and were just like, "Oh, a celebrity is inviting me to a celebrity gathering. It just makes sense for me to go, based on like optics, professional courtesy, so on and so forth." Yeah.
Right, right. So we'll go ahead and and scroll down and take a look at some of these names. And we won't spend too much time on this. We spent so much time on Stuttering John, and we probably could go even longer on that buffoon, but there's just no time. So okay, first and foremost, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they absolutely knew what was going on. They were at the very top of the pyramid. They were a big funders for it. They were big in keeping things quiet and getting things coerced. At least that's what's being said. I don't know how guilty they are. There's a lot of video. There's a lot of stuff coming through. A lot of talk now about what's going on in regards to them. But as we read this list, I'm not going to do a big diatribe. I'm just going to read it and tell me when to stop if you have anything to say.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez, who dated Diddy in the early 2000s, she frequently went to his parties, even after they broke up. Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Naomi Campbell, Mary J. Blige, Leonardo DiCaprio.
That doesn't surprise me.
No,
Mr.
no.
I will only date until they're 25. Yeah, that doesn't shock me.
Oh
at
no!
all.
Oh yeah, Leo is definitely one of those guys who knew exactly what was going.
It's probably where he was finding his next wife.
Oh yeah.
Are you still on your parents' insurance? Great, let's date.
Oh Jesus. Usher, of course. Rihanna, of course. But the thing with Leo, before we move too far on from him, if it did come out that he, like I said, if it came out that he was one of the predators, it would not surprise me.
No.
I honestly feel like he's gotten a bit sloppy. There's pictures of Leo on floating around on Facebook. I've seen it on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
He's dating like a 19-year-old.
Yep. Doesn't surprise me.
I'm not quite sure where he's meeting 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, but it's definitely
Well,
through no
well,
good cause.
what I think he's doing is probably what most male celebrities in his position would probably do is that that there's probably going to be a young 18 or 19-year-old that would be like, I would do anything to be with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then the opportunity. I mean, hey man, like
But I get it, man. It's
if I
sick,
was
but
a
I get it.
if I was like an 18 or 19-year-old guy and Scarlett Johansson said I could slide in, I ain't gonna say no. I understand how fucked up that sounds, but I'm gonna be honest about it. Like, I get it. It's bad, but it's like this is a celebrity, and that if you try to make it work for you, but you could be that person who said, "Yeah, I dated Leonardo DiCaprio for like 4 to 5 years, and it was yeah."
Right. 4 to 5 years. I think you're putting a little too much
Well, if
time on
they're
that.
Well, if they're 18, 19, I feel like 23, 24 is probably where things are. That's where the
He's gonna
cutoff
max
is.
them out.
Yeah,
Uh,
because if it's above 25, nope, can't.
anyway, Pharrell Williams. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Who knows? I won't get into that. Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, of course, was there. Kendall and Kylie Jenner, they were there. Perhaps as teenagers. Who knows? Lil Kim, 50 Cent, Drake, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Snoop Dogg, which doesn't surprise me. I'm sure Snoop attends a lot of events and meets a lot of people, but in no way has harmed anyone. Alicia Keys, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, both tennis players.
Yeah.
David Beckham, Victoria Beckham, Will Smith.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, there's
They
something
said,
that
well, I've heard some stories about Will Smith about it was like gay orgy parties he's been to.
yeah.
I don't know the validity of that. That's why I'll just say
Oh, and
alleged.
by the way, something got us kicked off of Facebook. By the way, the Facebook stream, something got us kicked.
Oh, geez, I wonder.
Yeah, we can't stream on Facebook anymore. They kicked. We got zucked.
Oh, like we're permabanned?
Well, I don't know because I don't see the stream, and I had a notification here a second ago that something happened. Um,
Yeah, I think we should
shit.
just
Well, I mean, it
stop.
doesn't matter. I mean,
I think we should. That's what I
yeah,
think.
I don't
We should stop
even see it
streaming.
on my page. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. What? Sorry.
I think we should stop live streaming on Facebook
We should
because
stop on Facebook. There's no point.
yeah, I could tell you it could be a
Wait, I want
million
to.
things.
Yeah, I want to. Just a
Oh
joke
God,
that we've had, something that John said. Playing something, music, anything.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to try to speed this list up a little bit here. Chris Brown, Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, Tyler the Creator, Megan the Stallion, Post Malone, Travis Scott, Ellen DeGeneres. Could you imagine Ellen DeGeneres
Well, actually,
getting?
about that. So this is one of the things my coworker told me. Apparently, there's been pictures of her at this party to where, in the very least, she's either completely naked or at least topless.
Ellen?
Yep, I'm not kidding. I don't know how true any of
Oh
that is,
my!
but so yet again, I'll say alleged, but that's what I was also told.
Oh, you gotta be.
Done.
There's just no way that there's. I mean, yeah, no, Ellen. Um,
I mean, given all the
oh,
shit that swarmed her around in the last, you know, 5 to 6 years, I wouldn't be surprised if that was true.
I mean, yeah, Ellen's not exactly someone that I would imagine,
Being a friendly person,
bearing it all, but we don't know these people.
of course.
Anyway, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Oprah Winfrey, Quincy Jones, DJ Khaled, Lenny Kravitz, Madonna, ASAP Rocky, Cardi B, Kris Jenner, Sean Penn, Tyrese Gibson, Zendaya, Big Sean, Michael B. Jordan, Future, Adele, Steve Harvey, Chris Rock. Just, I mean, a lot of people that you would expect. Floyd Mayweather, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Timberlake. None of this stuff really interests me. I want to mention to you the fact that there were a lot of like princes and stuff that were there. You
Oh,
had you had royalty from Qatar. You had Prince Albert II of Morocco at one of these parties.
I did
You
not know
had
that.
Princess Charlotte of Morocco, Princess Beatrice of York, Prince Harry. Well, no fucking shit,
Oh
Prince
yeah,
Harry
that's
was
not
there,
surprising.
and Harry was absolutely only there for the drugs.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, Princess what? Sorry,
I said absolutely. I agree.
Princess Madeline of Sweden.
What?
Yeah, so the Swedish Princess Madeline has been known to socialize in elite circles that sometimes intersect with Diddy's world, especially at high society events like galas and charity functions in New York and in Europe.
Oh
So
Christ!
Diddy was throwing parties all over the world. He's a
Shit.
billionaire.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you ready for the politicians
Of
segment
of
of who's
course.
been to a Diddy party?
I like this
Barack and
part.
Michelle Obama.
Of course.
And again, keep in mind, Diddy held a lot of political events. He invited, obviously, a lot of royalty. So I take it that, like, if the Prince of Sweden, the Princess of Sweden, attended an event, I assume that Diddy was throwing it. I mean, she attended an event in New York. I assume that when he was at his home in London, he actually does have a home there, that
Yeah.
he probably got a lot of people to attend parties there as well. So,
Of course.
I guess that's to be considered. Al Sharpton, Andrew Cuomo, um, Cory
Personal.
Booker, the senator of New Jersey,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bill and Hillary Clinton,
Oh, that's
Stacey
shocking.
Abrams, and Kamala Harris.
Ooh. Is there more, or is that it for the
That's
politician?
it. There's only
Oh,
10
you
politicians on the
guess who's not
list.
on that list? Trump. Oh
Yeah, but
Christ.
I mean, look, Trump's definitely been to Epstein's island. Whether or not if he knew about the fucking kids is a conversation to be had. But look, these socialites that end up becoming creepy,
Yeah.
or these what or these just these socialites. Mickey. That's funny. But these people have aged to the fucking point um where you live so lavishly and you network so extensively that my question kind of becomes, um how many people were involved in all of it, and how many people now are seeing their names on this list and they knew they were at a party and they feel disgraced because they knew that they were no part of it, but now they're seeing their peers on a list, and now they have to decipher with themselves whether or not, if their peers knew about it, if their spouses knew about it.
I'll say 70% knew, 30% didn't. That's
and
my that's my
and
guess.
it's going to be a very interesting 30%, to say the least.
Yeah, that's why I am that's probably a charitable interpretation, but I know it's not like a
I
50-50
mean,
or a
dude, there's names on this list that we didn't even look at. But I mean, you have people on here like we just mentioned. Okay, we just talked about how like Drake is on this list, how Pharrell Williams is on this list, and people are saying that there's some speculation about him. Most certainly Leo DiCaprio knew damn well what was going on at these parties. But then you have people on here like LL Cool J, like Mark Wahlberg, like Ryan Reynolds. Are we supposed to believe that fucking Deadpool know what was going on? Like that would suck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to believe that the same amount of people at Diddy parties were also, the same amount of people at Epstein parties that were just there for the food, for the networking. But again, like you said, that is going to be a much smaller sliver than those that were there to,
Yeah. Until people are able to collaborate their alibi and what they were doing at the party, they're going to be regarded as suspicious and malicious, as they should, of course.
yeah,
With
and the
with
fact,
with some exceptions. Like I know that for a fact. I bet you that Justin Bieber and like I know Justin Bieber for a fact was like was certainly a victim, and I would be willing to say the same for Zendaya. They were both definitely coerced into situations they didn't want to be in and probably don't want to talk about it. Like you got some outliers like that, but beyond that, yeah, that's why I said 70-30, because I know for a fact there are some people who probably knew what wasn't going on at the party, and I bet you Diddy was able to discern who wanted to know and who didn't. Like you've got the read of people who are into the same fucked up shit you're into. It's kind of like how Jared Fogle found when he ran his like kids charity thing, he found the right dude to be like his CEO for that, or like the main guy to run that, because they both had the same fucked up sort of demented sexual
right.
mindset for stuff.
Well, here's the thing too, though. By the way, okay, this is my whole thing. Oh, so okay, so this footage, I'm not gonna chance it and show it here because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of just skimming the party footage. There's a lot of different party footage from Diddy, and um what I really kind of question is how many of these people, because like if they were going for these sex parties to engage with grown adults and they were just famous people wanting to sleep with famous people or whatever, then fine, no harm no foul there.
Yeah,
But what I am becoming more interested in is the fact that there are a lot of videos. There's a lot of stuff going on. There are now videos that are surfacing that could potentially be, crimes.
yeah,
But the issue is that there's going to be a lot of rumor. There's probably going to also be a lot of AI. There's going to be a lot of problems. So there's a lot that's going to unfold, and we're going to see what's real and what's not. But
yeah.
quite frankly, it just all of this seems really bad.
Of course.
All of
Yeah,
this seems really, really bad.
yeah. I agree.
It's just wild.
Yeah, yeah, I knew at some point the list was gonna drop, and I doubt that it was gonna be like 5 people on the list. I knew it was gonna be like a big fucking like thing.
Just wild. And it's kind of going around these, all this different footage from Diddy parties. The only footage that I've been able to see so far uh pretty much has just been the video of Diddy on a camera running around talking to all the celebrities that were there and stuff. I haven't seen, like there are crazy videos that seemingly have been pretty much all taken down at this point. But um, he allegedly sold uh, freak off party videos for insane amounts of money.
Hmm.
Um, he traded on the dark net apparently for like $500 million. Some of these
Yep.
videos. It's really bad, and it's only going to get worse. But I don't want to spend too much time on this, Jim. If there's anything
Yeah.
else that you want to add, um,
No, no, I think that's good.
all right. So, do you have anything else that you want to get into tonight?
No, I think that's it. I guess I'll get the Facebook set up that way. We can kind of just well, I don't know if we can have a page now. I wonder if Facebook would shut that down. No, I'll set
No,
it up.
no,
I'll set it up.
no.
It,
So the live stream is up and running. I did see it.
okay.
The yeah, no, the flag was still registering from the last live stream.
Oh,
It was the previous NBC strike that, for whatever reason, every time I go live, I'm told about this NBC strike, but it's from the previous video. So we should
okay.
still be okay for now.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll set up the page and I'll just get the basic information on it, but yeah, that's it, really. And
Alrighty.
I speculate we have another like 2.5 weeks to be on uh StreamYard still before we move over to Discord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And on Wednesday, we may get in a little bit more politics, just because I have off, so I can try to put a package together. We may get into some of the election stuff, but what
Okay.
I don't want to do is, well, I guess, give me a second here.